Good morning, everyone. Well, we've got a chance of rain and, yes, some snow in Iowa for the next 3 days. But the amount of rain and snow that we're going to be seeing is certainly going to be varying. And I do think overall today is looking like the wettest day. In fact, flat out looking like a pretty messy day across the state. Let's start 8 a.m. this morning where we're actually seeing a rain-snow mix around the Sioux City area. At times it's falling as rain, at times snow, sometimes both at the same time. That's because we're seeing the coldest temperatures in Sioux City. Everywhere else, except for that far western part of the state, it is rain this morning. Really just some very light rain showers around the Quad Cities, but some pretty good rain coming down in the central part of the state. The intensity a little bit more intense, indicated by those shades of yellow and orange. And I think that'll be kind of the story throughout the day. The heavier rain is going to try and push to the east, but it's going to be a very slow go. So let's time this out hour by hour. Let's jump ahead to the lunchtime hour and notice the intensity picking up for places like Mason City and Waterloo a little bit, and then catching a break in the western part of the state. Still possible for that rain-snow mix around the Sioux City area. Going to be windy across the entire state today. Gusts 30, 35 miles per hour. And notice, warmer to the east, cooler to the west, but chilly temperatures everywhere. And with that wind, it's going to make it feel even colder. All right, so let's talk about homebound commute time. I think at that point, if there's any precipitation still around the Sioux City area, it's probably going to be rain at this point because temperatures getting just warm enough. We're probably going to see more rain versus snow falling. Again, it could be a rain-snow mix throughout the day, but it's more likely you're going to see rain in the afternoon and snow this morning. By the way, can't rule out some thunderstorms. See that line showing up between Des Moines and on up to Waterloo? It's probably mostly going to be rain, but could there be some rumbles of thunder? Yes, that's a possibility, and that could boost rain totals in spots wherever those thunderstorms do form. Notice Quad Cities still probably just going to be kind of off and on light showers throughout the day. A high chance of rain, but I think there's going to be breaks, and you're probably going to miss out on the heavy stuff for today. Okay, let's jump ahead to tomorrow. Now, in general, not as widespread across the state, but more of a focus in the eastern half of the state. They're probably starting Wednesday morning with the focus in the central part of the state, so before it tries to push on to the east. Notice that rain-snow line stretching from Mason City down through Des Moines, so probably a rain-snow mix there, where if there's any precipitation for Sioux City, it'll probably be a few flurries Wednesday morning, but still rain. In the Quad Cities, so quite the variety across the state. Wednesday afternoon, the biggest difference across the state, still a bit on the temperature side, as you can see, low 50s, 1 o'clock Wednesday versus upper 30s in the western part of the state, but a big difference with the wind too. It's really just going to be kind of a breezy day in eastern Iowa, but for western Iowa, around Sioux City, those gusts are going to get up to about 45 miles per hour, so very windy in the west, and still maybe a few flurries of snow through the early afternoon, but still all rain for the Quad Cities. Homebound commute time, notice the rainfall intensity trying to pick up a little bit around the Quad Cities. I think we're dry in Sioux City by this point. So we've got one more day to talk about, and that is Thursday. And finally, in the Quad Cities, you have an opportunity of seeing some flurries of snow Thursday morning. Not going to be a lot of snow. It's going to slow down that Thursday morning commute really anywhere in the state. But finally, notice that temperatures are uniform across the state. We don't have this disparity in temperatures from the east versus the west. But already in the afternoon on Thursday, we're going to see the western part of the state starting to warm back up. By the way, I know I've been talking about all this snow in various locations, but what I can tell you is, it is a rain-snow mix, and most of the time when that snow is going to be falling, our temperatures are going to be above freezing. So if you do see snow, it's going to be a half an inch or less. And I tell you what, those half-inch totals are more likely in places like Sioux City, and farther east you are, more likely it is just to be a dusting or a few flakes, but no kind of significant snow accumulation anywhere in the state. Thursday is going to be a breezy day, and obviously a pretty cold day. Look at those temperatures at lunchtime, all in the mid to upper 30s. But with the clouds breaking up in the western part of the state, we may rebound into the upper 40s in the western part of the state. Meanwhile, Quad Cities probably only stay in the low 40s. Still an opportunity for some sprinkles Thursday afternoon. But then by the time we get to a Thursday evening, finally, all the precipitation is out here. So when it's all said and done, how much rain are we going to see? We talked about not much snow, but the rain is going to be a little more impressive. Well, we've already seen some accumulations around 0.3 of an inch, especially in the southern part of the state. And I think we've got about another half an inch to go. I think in some spots we could see as much as 1.5 inches. That's possible around the Mason City area, for example. So kind of averaging about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain across the state. And considering that we have drought conditions in much of the state, this is some much needed rain.